The Indiana Pacers were able to stun the OKC Thunder in game one, courtesy of Tyrese Halliburton. So this game ended 111-110, a very clutch game. And the Indiana Pacers were able to come back down from a deficit, a 15-point deficit, and they were able to go ahead and win this game. And the crazy part was when I was looking at the stats, especially when it came to the Pacers, you could see they turned over the ball 25 times, and Indiana just had like luck on their side. And going into this game, I felt like the OKC Thunder will do a better job defending home court, but they allowed a comeback from the Indiana Pacers, so that was crazy. And even prior to this NBA Finals tipping off in Game One, there are a lot of people saying that these NBA Finals will be boring. This NBA Finals will be the most low rated. There are no dynasties. There are no real stars. But one thing that they forgot to understand, man, I mean, it's all basketball. At the end of the day, regardless of which finals teams is there, people are gonna watch it, and this is for actually the diehards. People who appreciate basketball are watching this series because majority of the time you're used to seeing the same old people in the finals, but this one we are seeing the birth of a new era, and the OKC Thunder did a very good job in this game, but unfortunately it wasn't good enough. Even with Shai Alexander, the NBA MVP, dropping 38 points, missed a big shot. That's Tyrese Halliburton was the guy, or was the star of the night, and he was able to have these moments, especially in the clutch, multiple times. Because even when the Indiana Pacers played the Milwaukee Bucks, they were able to win the game at crunch time, and there were only like 35 seconds left, and they were able to go ahead and utilize very good possession, especially center around Tyrese Halliburton, and he was the real guy that brought the wins home. And this is a guy that he's built for these moments because the Indiana Pacers in April 29, Indiana trailed the Milwaukee Bucks 118-111 with 34.6 seconds left in overtime. Tyrese Halliburton scored with 1.4 seconds remaining, and the Pacers won that game 119-118. Then in Game 6, in that second round series against the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Indiana Pacers trailed to the Cleveland Cavaliers 119-112 in 48 seconds left in the game, and then they ahead and won this game by 1 point, 120-119. So Tyrese Halliburton got the game winner with 1.1 seconds of play. And also in May 21st, the Indiana Pacers trailed the New York Knicks 121-112 with 51.1 seconds remaining in regulation. Tyrese Halliburton sent the game to overtime with no time on the clock, and the Indiana Pacers went ahead and won that game 138-135. And in this one, you can see that late game mid-range shot that Tyrese Halliburton hit was the difference, and they were able to win this game 111-110. So I was very excited when I saw this because this told me that this can be a very long series, and this can be one of the most entertaining series of all time because of like the fighting spirit of these two teams. Don't get me wrong, both teams deserved and earned their spots in the finals because they won their conferences. And if you look at the Indiana Pacers, I feel like this is the most formidable team that can be able to give Oklahoma City Thunder hell. And if you look at even the roster, Pascal Siakam was there. He had a quiet 19 points. He led the Pacers in scoring with 19. And people forget that Pascal Siakam was an NBA champion. Is an NBA champion. And he's somebody who dropped 30 in game one of the 2019 NBA Finals when the Toronto Raptors matched up against the Golden State Warriors. So Pascal Siakam is in familiar territory. So he's not somebody who is going to let this game slide. So he was very good because he had a very nice clutch, layup that he hit late in the game that made sure that the Pacers were always in it to win it. So yeah, I mean, also the other guys in the roster showed out because we had 6 players scoring 10 points or more in this one. And Miles Turner, he had 15. And Andrew Nemhard, he had 14. Tyrese Halliburton, funny enough, he didn't even have like the best game, especially scoring wise, but he was very good in, getting them rebounds. He had a double-double of 14, 10, and 6 assists to go along with it. But man, the guy who turned over the ball the most times was Miles Turner. He had 6 turnovers. Aaron Neesmith had 5 turnovers. So the Pacers were really fumbling the ball, uh, especially in the first half, because in the first half they had a total of 20 turnovers. So things were not clicking for the Indiana Pacers. But in crunch time, that's where they does all the difference. And OKC, they've been boasted as one of the best teams, especially when it comes to defense. I'm not sure what had happened in the NBA Finals because Chet Holmgren, he had a dead game here. He had 6 points and 6 rebounds. Not a very good game at all. Can say one of the most forgettable games ever. And the other guys kind of just shut down and they just let Shea Gillis Alexander do his thing because Shea, even with his 38 points, was not enough. And even with this game decided by 1 point, at some point OKC Thunder were almost putting this Indiana Pacers team away. But it's unfortunate to see that even despite the defense that the Thunder boast throughout the regular season and also in the postseason, they're not able to stop the Pacers. And the Pacers, especially Tyrese Halliburton, there you can't count that guy out. And he's missed a big shot. And he's that guy that can be able to go ahead and score for you. So the OKC Thunder, they're almost losing ground, especially in home court, because they have to defend home court again in game two. So this game is a snippet to what you can go ahead and expect. And I expect this series to be very interesting because both teams are holding serve pretty well. And I will not be shocked if we get a game seven from this one. I don't think there's a point in time, even if the Pacers go and still game two, OKC Thunder can at least even go ahead and tie up the series. I don't expect any team to at least even go down 3-1 like that quickly like that because if it goes down 3-1, there'll be so much pressure, and especially now in a go home situation. Because the Pacers, when I was watching this game, I felt like the Pacers had lost it because I was checking out the scores and also checking out the game as it happened, and I felt like the OKC Thunder just let this game slip away. And this was not supposed to be the outcome for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I mean, I hold the OKC Thunder with high regard, especially when they have the MVP there. They have two all defensive players in Jalen Williams and Lou Dort. So I didn't expect them to have a lot of challenges. But when I look at the Pacers, when I look at Tyrese Halliburton, and I look at a guy like Pascal Siakam there, Benedict Mathurin has been balling out this season. Miles Turner. I mean, Miles Turner has been a bit quiet, but the other guys are the difference. Obi Toppin's game has been good. You have TJ McConnell. Although this game he really struggled with 3 turnovers, that was sad. And also Obi Toppin had 3. But it's also about team basketball, and winning is everything. And one thing I must say is defense always carries the day, and defense wins championships. Majority of the time, you might think that it's all about scoring, but how do you defend? If you're able to defend very well, there's a high likelihood you could go ahead and win it. But hey, I mean, it's the first game of the series. I'm very excited. I mean, sometimes I feel like basketball wins every single time, especially when you have like two matchups like this. So both teams have not been in the finals in a long time, especially the Indiana Pacers. The last time they made the finals was 2000s, and the year 2000 when Reggie Miller was there. The OKC Thunder, the last time they made the finals was in 2012, where LeBron was still in the Heat, KD, Westbrook, and Harden were together. So I mean, this is a very good series, and the odds are on OKC's favor because when I look at other people, especially in the comment section on X, and also when I do a quick Google search and I see who's favored to win this series, all the odds are stacked all the odds are stacked on the OKC Thunder's favor, and I'm not sure why they're underestimating the Pacers, and especially with that win in the East Finals, the Pacers, I can say they're coming in as the underdogs, and the team that has so much to prove is the Indiana Pacers. The OKC Thunder, if when they lose this, I don't know where they go from here. But all I might just say, it is game one, and both teams are great, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen in game two. And also today we'll be having the Basketball Africa League classification games tipping off. So I'll also be keeping tabs on that on the NBA Kenya YouTube channel. So make sure to go check that out as well. I'll be sharing the links to the community tab. So yeah, it is what it is. So do drop me your comments in the comment section down below. I mean, I am enjoying these NBA finals so far. And honestly, I mean, this what more can you ask for when you have the teams just going ahead and duking it out? You know, we have very good basketball, and this hopefully, fingers crossed, gets to a game seven, because the last game seven we saw was way back in 2016, and when the Cavs and the Warriors were matching up in the finals. Hopefully, can be able to get a game seven, because that will be everything. So yeah, it is what it is. So like, share, subscribe to the channel, help me to 10,000 subscribers, man. I'm loving the support I'm receiving on this channel, and you are the reason as to why I'm here. I'm out. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
No matter what the situation is, nobody expected this. I did not expect this. I thought it should have been a blowout. Indiana did not play well at all. I thought even though Tyrese was 6 for 13, a little too passive for me. You know, I like people that step up to the challenge, but Obi Toppin played great. Nembhard hit a big step-back three, and they just kept fighting. You know, I said if you could kind of slow down J-Dub, you have a chance. He went 6 for 19. Chet had a horrible game, 2 for 9 for 6 points. But listen, Indiana, they definitely stole one. And nobody expected this. They played well, and I was sitting there on the floor, and I was like, okay, they're about to blow them out. Wait. Okay, they're about to blow them out again. Wait. They're about to blow them out. And then it kept happening. And then I think when it was like 102 to 98, they had 2 wide open threes that they missed. And I was like, man. And OKC couldn't, score enough. I think they went to Shea a lot. J-Dub forced a couple shots and missed. But kudos to Indiana. They played some excellent basketball today. And it feels good. We all know this. When you don't have your best game and you can get a win, yeah, that just raises your confidence.
Well, it sucks, but we have been here before. Obviously, like the Denver series, probably honestly around the same thing, to be totally honest. So we'll get back to 0-0, look at what we can do to get better, and it's first to 4. So regardless of if it's the finals or round 1, round 2, you still have to win 4 games. So we'll take that and be ready for game 2.
Yeah, we just got to focus on being better. The series isn't first to 1, it's first to 4. So we have 4 more games to get, they have 3, and that's just where we are. We got to understand that, and we got to get to 4 before they get to 3 if we want to win an NBA championship, and it's that simple. It's not rocket science. We lost game 1. We have to be better.
There was never a disbelief as a group, honestly. You have a half like that where you're just throwing the ball to the other team, and we like chaos. We like controlled chaos, but that was just chaos, just ugly. But I think we as a group came and said, hey, we felt like we got like 20 turnovers in the first half. We only gave up, I don't even remember how many points. I think it was like 9. Yeah, that's not that bad. If you think of it that way, try to look at it glass half full. But I think as a group, we never think the game is over, ever. Honestly speaking, ever. That never creeps in. I think we just keep talking as a group is how can we walk this team down. So it's at 12 going into halftime. We talk about if we can win 1 quarter by 6, 1 quarter by 7, we'll be in a great spot. We got it to a 6-point game at the end of the third quarter, and Shea hit a 3. But we liked where we were. And then they went on a big run to start the fourth, and we just said, okay, it's at 15, let's get it to 10. Well, we got it to 8, they called timeout. So we just stayed with it. So this group never gives up. We never believe that the game is over until it hits 0, and that's just the God honest truth. That's just the confidence that we have as a group, and I think that's a big reason why this is going on. After you have a run like last year, and then you get swept in the Eastern Conference Finals, and all the conversation is about is how you don't belong there, and how you lucked out to get there, and that it was a fluke. Guys are going to be pissed off. We're going to spend the summer pissed off. And then you come into the year with all the talk around how it was a fluke. You have an unsuccessful first couple months, and now that's easy for everybody to clown you and talk about you in a negative way. And I think as a group, we take everything personal. As a group, it's not just me, it's everybody. I feel like that's the DNA of this group. And that's not just me, that's our coaching staff does a great job of making us aware of what's being said. Us as players, we talk about it in the locker room, we talk about it on the plane. We're a young team, so we probably spend more time on social media than we should. But I just think we do a great job of taking things personal. And that gives this group more confidence, and we turned things around in January, which you guys know, and we just stuck with it. And I'm really proud of this group, and we just all got each other's back at every point. Any negative thing that's said about anybody, we got full belief in each other. We haven't been celebrating a whole lot with anything, really, and that's some of that is our experience last year. Some of it is Pascal having been through this kind of a run and getting to the finals before. We know we have a lot of work to do, and we have to play a lot better. I mean, 19 turnovers and a half is, if it's not a record for the finals, it's got to be up there, close to it. And so, and they're a menace, defensively, and we too often took it into crowds, and then other times they just take the ball out of your hands. I mean, it's just the level of their defense is crazy good.
I don't want to make it look like I'm different. I disagree. It's just we all have different mentalities. It's not just another game.
Yeah.
It's not just another game. I understand it's your first time here, but if it ends up like the promo started our show today and you don't win, it may be another chance you don't get back. I was fortunate enough to go back 6 times. You went back, of course you went back, but this is not another game. I didn't realize that they shot 40% from the field and 36% from 3, but I was sitting there, and they had double-digit leads. The fans were going crazy. The crowd was going crazy. When that happens in that moment at home, you have to put them away. This is not another game. This is the NBA Finals. This is a championship run. Got to be more efficient. You got to have that killer. And when you get a team down, you got to put a foot on their throat.
When they say defense wins championships, it's because you're able to score as well. And I thought, you could look it up for me. I don't even know. I didn't think they had great assisted baskets. I didn't think
OKC. They only had 13 assists. So
I didn't think they had great assisted baskets. I didn't think that they looked for each other on the offensive end. I didn't think they played cohesive on the offensive end. And when you do that, you have guys like on their end, Carson Wallace, Chet Holmgren, Caruso, Isaiah Joe, Wiggins. They never got into the flow and made an impact in the game had they been making in the earlier part. So I'm going to say that the Indiana Pacers have figured out how to play at this level. OKC has not.